In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to know about Real Broker. If you're looking at making a move over to Real Broker, or maybe you're just entirely curious about what's happening over here at this rapidly expanding brokerage, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about what is happening here in this company. Now, this brokerage is changing the game when it comes to collaboration and removing that competition among agents. The culture within Real Broker is one of the best I have ever seen. That's not something that we can necessarily talk about here today. We're actually going to go through this slideshow, but I do want you to know that the game is being changed through this brokerage, and that is why it's growing so quickly. So with that being said, I'm going to add in some commentary along the way. We're going to jump into my screen here and take a look at this. So as we do that, my name's Cody. I'm a YouTube realtor. I have grown my business over the last 3 years exclusively on YouTube. I don't do any other form of lead generation. You know, I might have some past clients or some SOI that kind of, those deals that just fall in my lap, but I don't do anything like that. But here in 2022, I've closed over $500,000 in business just from YouTube, using a lot of the strategies that I've actually learned within Real Broker itself. So that's why I'm so passionate about this and why I want to share this with you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. So this says achieve your purpose and build authentic real estate business. I think this is really important because this is kind of changing the way that real estate agents look at a brokerage, right? There's a lot of traditional brokerages out there who have kind of done things, the way that they've always been done, right? And that's just kind of the way it's been. But Real is really building something different. So let's jump in here and take a look at this. So Real Snapshot was founded in New York in 2014. So we haven't even been in company for, 8 years, right? We're going on year 9. We're in 44 states as well as DC, and I think 2 provinces in Canada, with a third one opening soon with the acquisition of Redline Real Estate. We just crossed over 7,000 agents back in October. This is as of October 21st. Year-to-date revenue was $174 million. We've done 16,000 transactions year-to-date in 2022, and we are listed on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol REAL. Yes, this, REAX. The company is Real, but it's listed on REAX for the ticker. This company has been listed on NASDAQ, I want to say, for like over a year now. And it's publicly traded. You can buy stock in the company and participate in the upside or the downside of the company stock. So that's a really cool thing that's actually different about that. We're going to talk about how to earn additional money through stock options, as well as some other things here in this presentation. So let's continue on here and take a look at this. So Real Solutions, keep more of your commission with very generous splits and a low cap. You can build wealth. We have state-of-the-art tech. There's training and education. We have revenue share and a supportive community. Like I said, the community over here at Real is one of the most important things. And it's a little bit hard to kind of describe that until you're in the community, you're in the culture, you're talking to other agents, and you're really kind of collaborating with these other agents in the market. It's something that can be a little bit difficult, but there's going to be meetups in your area. There's going to be meetups online, in different training classes. If you ever want to jump into a Real training class, you can reach out to me. I can help connect you with somebody who's training on that, whether it's, YouTube leads, maybe it's SOI, maybe it's how to use Google My Business, maybe it's Facebook ads, whatever it might be. There's training out there, and you can always jump in and kind of take a look at what's being taught within the brokerage. So that's a really cool thing about it. That's actually something I teach personally. I teach a monthly class on how I've built my business using YouTube, and that's just one of many classes here within Real. So these are kind of the 6 facets of the solutions that Real is presenting to the marketplace when it comes to real estate brokerage. So let's talk a little bit more about number 1, keep more. So the cool thing about Real is it has an 85-15 split. This is way better than what you see in a lot of other brokerages. There's other popular brokerages. A lot of them are 80-20 split, which basically means that for each transaction you close, you're going to pay in 20% to the brokerage and you're going to keep 80%. However, with Real, it's 85-15. So you're keeping that extra 5% on each deal. Now, there's going to be people who go out there and they say, well, yeah, that's fine, but once you cap out, you still pay in the same amount. Yes, that's true, but for the agent who's only closing 3, 4, 5 deals per year, this 85-15 split is going to be much more beneficial for them. This is good in 2 different ways. The agent who's only closing a couple deals per year gets a better deal, and also number 2, the agents who are closing lots of deals are going to be able to cap out, and it's not going to really affect them, right? They're still only paying whatever their cap is. There's no monthly fees, and there's a $12,000 annual cap, or there's going to be a $6,000 annual cap if you're on a team. So if you're an individual agent, you're looking at $12,000 on your annual cap, and then after that, it's 100% split. Now, I do want to kind of touch on this here because there's some other important information here. If you're looking at the financial side of this, you're going to want to know this. So after you cap out, there's a $225 transaction fee. And if you're doing leases in your state, it's $125 for a lease transaction fee after you cap. You do have a $149 sign-up fee, fairly small fee. It's just kind of help with the onboarding, so not really too critical of a fee there. And then you do have a $500 annual brokerage fee that is paid from the first 2 transactions each anniversary year. So you pay $250 from the first deal you close, $250 from the second, and then after that, you just have your 85-15 split up to a $12,000 cap. Now, this is the other thing about it that's really cool. With that $12,000 cap, it's much lower than what you see at other brokerages, right? A lot of other brokerages are going to be $16,000, $18,000, $21,000 for an annual cap. And that's basically just to cover their overhead, right? Because they have these offices, because they have so many staff members, they have a lot of overhead, and that's just not sustainable. And ultimately, it's coming out of your pocket. So, having a $12,000 annual cap is massive when it comes to getting a better deal as a real estate agent. Also, I should mention down here, as we before we touch on this, transaction fees do drop to $100 once an agent earns elite status. We're going to talk more about elite here in just a minute. Let's take a look at this. Up to 3 personal transactions per anniversary year with $250 transaction fee. So basically, this is saying if you are closing a deal that's yourself, maybe you're selling your own home, or you're an investor and you're buying rental properties or flip properties, you're going to be able to purchase up to 3 personal deals per year. And the only fee that you're going to have is a $250 transaction fee. So there's no split on those. You just have the transaction fee, and that's it. So that's a really cool feature. I personally use that numerous times over the past couple of years. Now, if you're a team, maybe you're a team leader, maybe you're a team member, or maybe you're looking to join a team, when you come over here, there's a little bit of a different setup for team members, right? So the commission split is still the same. The team leader is going to be on a $12,000 cap, but for any team members, they're going to have a $6,000 team member annual cap. After that, it's a $100 split or 100% split. There's still, again, no monthly fees. You do have the $500 annual fee that's paid, but you do only have that $6,000 team member cap. So if you're on a team, only having a cap of $6,000 is pretty amazing, right? That's, that's really, really cool. That it's so low, because it allows you to keep a lot of money. Especially, I think the problem with a lot of real estate teams out there is, for me, I was on a real estate team. I joined and I said, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And I'm glad I did. But after you close, 5, 6, 7, 8 deals, you're kind of thinking, man, I'm really paying in a lot to my team leader, and I don't really feel like I'm getting a whole lot. And now I'm paying in all this money to the brokerage and not getting a lot for that. And I think a lot of agents feel like they get ripped off being a team member, when it comes to the cap that they pay. So that's really cool. I like that it's only $6,000 for team members. Now, you can also build wealth. This is moving on to facet number 2 of what Real Broker is doing. So this is something that's much different. Of course, there are other publicly traded companies out there in the real estate space. Obviously, number 1 being the biggest one that's comparable to this is going to be EXP. But this is another way to build wealth with Real Broker. So Real is trading on NASDAQ as REAX, and the Toronto Stock Exchange also as REAX. So you can build ownership in Real in 4 ways. They have a stock purchase plan. You get awards for capping out. You get awards for attracting. And you're also going to have the ability to potentially earn the Elite Agent Stock Awards, depending on the number of transactions you're doing each year. So this is something I've personally hit twice. I actually just hit it this week with a recent closing that I had. So this is the second time I've hit it. Having been here for 2 years, that means I've hit it both times, which is really pretty cool. And I've gotten massive stock awards because of that. So if we jump over here and take a look at this next page. So this is going to be the stock purchase plan, that first thing that we talked about. So before capping, you're going to have the ability to purchase common stock with 5% of the commission from each deal that you close. If you choose to participate in this program, basically what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, you closed a deal, you had a $10,000 commission. We're going to take 5% of that, which would be $500, and we're going to go purchase stock. Now that stock is going to be put into a separate account. Real Broker is going to take care of that for you. They basically just take the money out and they do it for you. If you participate in that program, they are also going to give you a 15% bonus. Now, this 15% bonus and this 30% that you see right here, they are on 1-year vesting period. So you do have to hold on to the shares for at least 1 year in order to be eligible for this. So that being said, they're going to say, hey, basically you bought $500 worth of shares. They're going to give you a 15% bonus on top of that just for participating in the program. After you cap out, it gets even better. We're talking about 10% of the commission paid out in stock here. So again, that $10,000 check, you take 10% of that $10,000. They're going to take $1,000, purchase some stock with it, and then they're going to give you a 30% bonus, basically for free for having participated in the stock purchase program. So that being said, there are some notes here down at the bottom that I want to talk about. So before capping, you have a $12,000 cap, which means your max contribution towards the stock is going to be $3,400. If you're on a $6,000 cap, because you're a team member, you're going to have a max contribution of $1,700. After you cap, $12,000 cap, you're going to have a max contribution of $15,000. So that means the total contribution for an individual agent is going to be $18,400. If you are a team member, you can contribute $7,500 after capping, which means that your total would be $9,200 if you're a team member. So these are all shares are restricted stock units, which do have a 1-year vesting period. So this is actually one of the most powerful things. I think this is actually probably one of the biggest benefits to being a real estate agent with Real Broker is being able to participate in this. I actually want to show you guys this information here and show you a little bit about my stock account, just because I think this is a little segue to show you how powerful this can actually be. Okay, so this is actually coming over here to my ShareWorks portfolio. So this is where they handle all of the shares that are awarded to you or that you get from participating in the Elite program. Or, just these different ways to earn. So we're going to see some stuff in here that we haven't yet talked about, but we'll jump back over. I just wanted to show you this because this is really powerful and kind of show you the value that you can get with Real Broker that oftentimes you can't get with other brokerages. So right up here, you can see my total portfolio value is $49,000 as of right now. The available amount that I have is $18,000, and I have roughly $30,000 that's unavailable. That means it's still restricted because I haven't hit the vesting period on those shares just yet. If we jump over here to portfolio, this is going to show you just the last 12 months. So this doesn't encompass everything, but this shows you the last 12 months for anything that has not vested just yet. It actually goes back a little further than 12 months, but this is basically everything that has not vested. So if we come in here, you can see that this stock purchase plan, like let's just take April, for instance. In April of this year, I participated in the program. I was able to purchase up to $5,502 worth of stock. So I paid in $5,502 of my own money to purchase these shares, $2.27 at the time of this purchase. So I'm actually down pretty substantially on these shares, but that's okay. I'm holding on to them for the long run, so I'm not even worried about it. Because I participated in this, I also was able to receive 1,708 shares at a value of $2,237 for having participated in this program. So this is actually the benefit for today, right? So it's actually more than that. If we take a look at this, 4,200 shares at $227, I actually spent $9,534 on shares in this month. So this column right here is actually showing you today's value at today's share price. So I'm actually down on these shares, but nevertheless, that's okay. I'm planning on, this being a $5, $6, $7, $8 stock in 2 to 3 years. And so I think there's going to be a lot of upside there. So that's just kind of a quick, synopsis on what this actually looks like on paper. I'll show you exactly what I do. I'm an open book, guys. That's exactly who I am. If you want to learn more about Real Broker, if you want to talk to me and see if it's a fit for you personally, if you're interested in this type of content and you're thinking, hey, I might want to move over to Real, but I really want to talk to somebody about it first and ask questions, reach out to me. My information's in the description box below. You can schedule a call with me, shoot me an email. I would love to chat with you. I'll give you the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'll basically tell you everything you need to know about what it's like to be an agent over here. And I'll, give you some advice and say, hey, I think it's a good fit, or I think it's not a good fit. I just kind of lay everything out and then let you make the decision, from that point forward. So I just want to kind of give you all the information, show you what's possible. So we talked a little bit about the purchase program. Let's jump over here and talk a little bit about capping and attracting. So you can also get shares for having capped out, and you also get shares for attracting another agent into the company. So you earn a stock award at no cost to you when you reach the annual cap paid to Real in your anniversary year. In addition, when you directly attract another agent to Real, and upon that attracted agent's completion of their first transaction, you'll be granted stock according to the table below. Both agents must remain in good standing, and this one actually does have a 3-year vesting period. So this is, these shares are all vested because they want to entice you to stay with the company rather than just joining, getting a bunch of shares, and then leaving, right? So this is for, what this looks like for between 7,000 and 8,000 agents where we currently are. If you cap out, you're going to get 250 shares for free. and you're going to get 125 shares for attracting an agent. And this, qualifies for any agent that you attract. So if you attract, one agent each month, you're going to get 125 shares every single month that you attract an agent into the program or into the company. So that's really cool that you can get stock for doing that. Again, those numbers are basically split in half if you're on a $6,000 cap. Let's jump down here and talk a little about Elite. So for you top performers out there who are closing enough transactions, this is another program where you can earn additional shares in the company. You can see here that once you cap out, you're going to pay in $6,000 in post-cap transaction fees, or if you do more than $500,000 in GCI, and you have at least 10 transactions with a sales price greater than $1 million, you can hit the Elite Agent Award, which means that you're going to get $16,000 in stock as a performance award. So you're basically getting the whole value of your cap amount back plus an additional $4,000. And in addition to that, if you teach a monthly class, so if you're closing a lot of business, you join Real and say, hey, I want to teach a class on YouTube, or I want to teach one on open houses, or working my sphere of influence, or whatever it might be, you can jump in here, start teaching these classes, or give back to your community in some way and get that approved by Real. They're going to give you an additional cultural award of $8,000. I mean, man, that's pretty crazy. The fact that a company can do this and say, hey, we really appreciate everything that these agents do to give back. We're going to give you an extra $8,000 for having done so. It's really kind of cool, right? You're almost like becoming an employee of the company, but there's no obligation, right? You don't have to do this. It's just kind of an added benefit. So that's really kind of cool to see that there. Now let's jump in here and talk a little bit about this. State-of-the-art tech. This is going to show you a little bit about the app here. So we use SkySlope. That's actually going away, so that needs to be updated here. But we have Real's proprietary app. We use Chime for the CRM, and then we also have Workplace for communicating and whatnot. So this Real app right here is actually pretty awesome. It's a really good resource to have. This is where we process all of our transactions, and something that's definitely really cool with that. Let's talk about training and education. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a ton of classes inside the Real Academy. Just in last year, we had 484 live classes. In this year, 2022, I would not be surprised if we're well over 1,000 live classes in the Real Academy. There's also 160 on-demand classes that were added to the Knowledge Library in 2021. And this literally covers everything from cold calling, YouTube, Facebook ads, Google ads, sphere of influence, mindset. Maybe it's discipline. Maybe it's building a schedule. Maybe it's, attracting agents, right? There's so much information within Real Academy, and it's really hard to duplicate this in other brokerages, right? If you go to a training at your brokerage, sure, you might be there in person, you get to learn some stuff, but in most cases, those are not recorded. They're not easily accessible. There's a lot of filler in between, and it's just not a very friendly process to go back and watch those trainings. Whereas here, with these classes we have in the Real Academy, they're very user-friendly, where you can actually jump on anytime, whether it's live, whether it's recorded, and be able to watch these trainings and get all the value that you need from them. So that's really cool. If there's any new agents out there, I'd recommend, watching at least one of these classes every single day, because I think that would be really helpful if you're a new agent. All right, next up, let's talk a little bit about revenue share. So this is the other added benefit to being a real estate agent with Real Broker. So we talked a little about attracting an agent to the company. Let's talk a little bit about revenue share. So every time you attract an agent to the company, you're going to have the ability to earn some additional income every time they close a deal. And this is really kind of a cool facet to the structure of what Real has provided. So this is kind of just a brief overview. I've done other videos here on the channel explaining this in depth, but we'll just kind of jump through this. So each time, for how many agents you attract underneath you, you're going to unlock these different tiers, right? So you have tier 1 agents. If you have up to 9, you've got this first tier unlocked. If you're sitting between 10 and 14 agents attracted, you get tier 2, 15 to 19, tier 3, and so forth, right? 20 to 24 and 25 plus, you unlock all 5 tiers. In those individual tiers, for any agents who are in your first tier, you can earn up to $4,000 per year for any agent who caps out. So if an agent caps out, you brought them into the company, you're actually going to receive $4,000 of their cap each year, their cap amount, right? So it's not coming out of their pocket, it's coming out of the corporate pocket from Real Broker, right? So that's a really cool thing there. As you unlock these additional tiers, let's say you've got, let's say you have 17 agents underneath you, or you're going to earn up to $4,000 on all 17 of those agents, but then any agents underneath those ones are going to be able to earn, you're going to be able to earn up to $3,200 per referred agent underneath them. So if you go out there and you attract Joe, and Joe brings on Susie, and then Susie starts closing deals, if you've unlocked this tier right here, you're going to get up to $3,200 of Susie's cap each and every year. So this is a really cool thing. It can stack up. There's a lot of people who are making 50,000, 100,000, even a couple people within the company making over $1 million with this program right here every single year. So it's a pretty crazy, powerful platform. I'm not going to go into it too heavily. If you want to check out revenue share in depth, just go to my channel, type in revenue share, Real Broker explained, and I have like a 25-minute video explaining this, super in depth, and it'll make a whole lot of sense because it can be a little bit confusing the first time you're looking at it, but this is actually one of the most powerful things. It's not even something that I really pursue, but I was able to pick up, $7,000 or $8,000 in basically free income from just having attracted a couple agents over the last few years. So that's a really cool thing, and that's going to be something that repeats every single year, right? So I think that's a huge, really powerful thing. And lastly, you've got the supportive community. So we talked a little bit about this. You do have that amazing supportive community within Real. It's one of a kind. The culture and the collaboration within the company is bar none. I just can't say enough good things about it because it's a really powerful part of the company, and a lot of people really appreciate that. There's a lot of agents out there who are feeling kind of lost. They feel like their brokerage doesn't really value them. They don't really know how to get this help in the market. And they don't really know what's going on and how to actually sell real estate and build their business. But those are all things that are being taught inside of Real Academy and, the workplace chat rooms. These are all things that are being talked about every single day. So if you want to be a part of this, I'd love to chat with you more about it. Before you make a decision, you can contact me. My information is in the description box below. Or if you're like, hey, I'm on board, Cody, I'm joining the company, you can also find a link for my sign up down in the description box below as well. But I'd love to chat with you. I'll give you the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly about this company and what you need to know, as well as maybe, give you my opinion on, hey, whether I think it's a good fit or not, based on your own individual situation. Because the reality is, look, this is an amazing brokerage. It's been life-changing for me. Having been able to, take part in what this company offers is truly amazing. But the reality is that, it's probably not going to be a fit for every single person out there, every single agent, right? There's over 1 million agents in the United States, yet Real Broker has only, 7,000 agents. So we're still relatively small in the grand scheme of things. It's not going to be a fit for everybody, but I'd love to chat with you about it. That's the point I'm getting at here. So if you want to chat about this company, make sure to reach out to me. My information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you guys all in the next one.